Good evening, kids. Hope you all are fine, safe, staying at home. Okay. So today you all are here for our IMO session, online classes. So before starting our topic of the day, I'd like to share a few points about IMO. Like, why do you need to be a part of IMO? Why do you need to take your IMO exams? And how will it help you in your academics? And so on. So, firstly, coming to what is IMO and why do you need it? You all know that it's an Olympiad exam. The main motto of this Olympiad exam is to showcase your talent exam. When coming to IMO exam, you can score much better than your regular grades when you start preparing for IMO. And also, your foundation becomes much stronger in your basic concepts. Once you're strong in your basic concepts, its application can be made to any extent, which helps you to be a part of different competitive exams. Now, okay, it's all fine that what is IMO and how is it helpful to you and why do we need take coaching for it? Now, how will it help you in your academics? Being an average student, if someone starts preparing for IMO and he starts taking up IMO exams, he himself or herself find themselves in a better place than their before grades. That means it helps you in overall development of your knowledge, like problem solving, analytical thinking, testing aptitude, creativity, and also your confidence and competitive skills will also be developed. All these are needed for your overall development. When this is being done at a very young age, obviously IMO is a motto. IMO is a platform which is helping you to develop your skills in all the ways. Okay, fine. Now, I don't want to extend this a lot as you are at a very tender age to understand things. So, let's go on for today's topic, which is Roman numerals. Okay, now let's see what are Roman numerals and how are they being generated and related to the normal numerals that we use. The number system in which the numbers formed using the digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 is called Hindu-Arabic system. So this is a number system which you use in your day-to-day life. Like you find numbers everywhere in your mobile numbers, in your time, watches, calendars, in cooking, in traveling, everywhere, in your books, everywhere. As a doctor, as a person in any field, the numbers are being used everywhere around us. And the numbers which we use are formed by these 10 digits. This number system is called as Hindu-Arabic system. Why is this number system called as Hindu-Arabic system? That's a question. Okay. The number system which is formed by these 10 digits is being first originated by Hindus and it's been further adopted by Arabs and later being given to the further world. So this number system which is formed by these 10 digits 0 to 9 is called as Hindu-Arabic system. This is the standard system which is being currently used throughout the world. And how is this Roman numerals related to this? And what are Roman numerals? How are they formed? Let's see now. Okay. Roman numerals were originated in ancient Rome. So in the ancient time, in Rome, people used these numerals for their counting purposes. But nowadays, this is being You can see them only on the faces of watches, clocks, or buildings, etc. Like you can see a picture of a clock here where the numbers from 1 to 12 are being named using this Roman numerals. You can see them on the building names. Certain building names will be named by Roman numerals. And also you can see in the names of the successors of kings and queens, popes, using Roman numerals like Henry VIII, Charles I, Charles II. So in this way, nowadays we find Roman numerals. Other than these are not being currently used a lot. Okay, we have learned what are Roman numerals. I mean, where did we get Roman numerals from and where do we find them? Correct. Now let's see how about these Roman numerals are related to the Hindu-Arabic system. Hindu-Arabic system is a place value system, whereas Roman numerals is not a place value system. In sense, like when we consider a number 53 in Hindu-Arabic system, we say the place value of 5 is 50. Why do we say the place value of 5 is 50? Since it is in tens place. When it comes to 3, it's in ones place. So the place value of 3 remains 3. So in Hindu-Arabic system, depending on the place where the digit is positioned, we get its place value. So Hindu-Arabic system is called a place value system. But this is not followed in Roman numerals. Roman numerals is not a place value system. Now, when it is not a place value system, how can they be formed? Let's see. Roman numerals are written by using 7 different capital English alphabets. So we use different English alphabets which are in capital forms, and there are 7 such symbols which are used in forming this Roman numerals. First one is I. I stands for 1. In sense, whenever you find the value I in a Roman numeral, it means its value is 1. Next, V. V stands for 5. X stands for 10. L stands for 50. C stands for 100. D stands for 500. M stands for 1000. So these are the 7 different Roman numerals which we use to form different Roman numerals. All the Roman numerals are formed by a combination of these 7 symbols. As Hindu-Arabic system is formed, all the numbers of Hindu-Arabic system is formed using 10 different digits, that is 0 to 9. In the same way, Roman numerals are formed using these 7 symbols, I, V, X, L, C, D, M. These 7 symbols are used to form Roman numerals. Roman numerals, there is no symbol for 0. Okay, so Roman numerals is a special system where there is no symbol for 0. In sense, we don't have 0 in Roman numerals. In Roman numerals, the counting starts from 1 onwards. 1, 2, 3, so on. The numbers will be used in Roman numerals. Then they had no specific symbol for 0. Roman numerals are formed by applying certain rules on the 7 symbols. So we just have 7 symbols, and how can we get different numbers out of it? So there are certain rules that can be applied on the 7 symbols. By that application, we can get different numbers. Like what is a Roman numeral for 5? What is the Roman numeral for 17? What is the Roman numeral for 23? So for different numbers, we have different rules to be applied on these 7 symbols. If you understand these rules, you can easily convert Hindu-Arabic numbers to Roman numerals and also Roman numerals to Hindu-Arabic numbers. Now let's start learning these rules. Let's go with rule 1. Repeating a letter means addition. So we have the standard 7 symbols. On repeating any of this symbol, it means addition, but there is one condition in repetition of these symbols. What are that? The letter can repeat up to 3 times. So I can repeat any letter only up to 3 times. Let's see how is it. Here I have an example. I. I in the sense I'm repeating I for 3 times. But what does the meaning of this repetition is? I told you repetition means addition. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So 3 is represented as I in Roman numerals. Now what is CC? C is 100. So CC is 200 since their value is being added. XX. XS is nothing but 10 plus 10, 20. Similarly, M. This is M value stands for 1000. So 3M stands for 3000. So in this way, we can use Roman numerals by repeating not more than 3 times and their value gets added on repeating them. One important condition that if you have observed, in my examples I have repeated I, C, X and M. I have never repeated L, B, L and T. The reason for this is these 3 letters can never be repeated. Why can't they be repeated? Let's see. For example, if I repeat V and V, what happens? V values is nothing but 5. So this becomes 5 plus 5. But what is 5 plus 5? 10. When we already have a symbol for 10, that is X, why are we supposed to repeat X for 2 times? So that is why V, L and G can never be repeated. If you repeat L for twice, what do we get? 100. But we have a symbol for 100. When you repeat D for 2 times, you get 1000. We have a symbol for 1000. So that is the reason why V, L and G can never be repeated. The rest 4 symbols can be repeated, that too to a maximum of 3 times. And whenever they are repeated, the meaning is their values is getting added. Now let's move on to our next part. Okay, here when I have told you CC is 200, now can anyone guess me what is the value of CCC? Please do type your answers in the chat box. Good. The value of CCC is, C is repeated for 3 times, so its value is 300. Now let's move on and learn to our next rule. Rule 2. The symbol of smaller value put on the right side of a greater symbol is added to it. So here we have 7 different symbols. Whenever a smaller symbol is put to the right side of a greater symbol, their values will be added. Let's see what is that. Here if you see, we have an example of VI. Here I stands for 1 and V stands for 5. Here I is written to the right of V. So the rule is whenever the smaller value is put to the right of a bigger value, their value should be added. So here the smaller symbol I is to the right of the bigger symbol V. So we add their values and we get VI as 6. 5 plus 1, 6. That is what is written. I is to the right of V. So we add their values and make the answer VI as 6. Now let's see some more examples in the same way. CXII. So here X is smaller than C, I is smaller than X. So we are following the rule. C stands for 100, X stands for 10, II. Just now we have learned repeating the digits means adding its value 1 plus 1, 2. So CXII stands for 112. So here also we followed the same rule. The smaller symbol is to the right of the bigger symbol. Now, here we have learned how to convert Roman numeral to Hindu Arabic number. So let's see how to convert the Hindu Arabic number to Roman numeral. Consider a number 51. Now, how can I write this 51? What are the nearest symbols in Roman numbers for this? I have 50 and I have symbol for 1. So I'll split this 51 into 50 plus 1 and the symbol. When 2 numbers are added, the smaller number symbol should be to the right side. So Li. So 51 is written as Li because I is to the right side of the bigger symbol. In the same way, 608. Let's see how to write 608. What are the symbols that we have that we can use for 608? I have D, which is 500, C, which is 100, and for 8, I can use 1 and B. Let's see. So I split 600 as 500 and plus 100, 8 as 5 and 3. Because I have only those 7 symbols which I can use to represent any number. So I can represent it as D, C, V, I. 500 is for D is for 500, C is for 100, V is for 5, and I is for 3. So the Roman numeral for 608 is DCXIII. Hope you are getting clear with your concept of rule 2. So we have total of 4 rules. Already we have reached halfway of learning 2 rules. Let's learn 2 more rules on that. Now we have a question. Here on your screen, there's a teacher and she has something on her whiteboard. Can you tell me what is a Roman numeral representing the number shown in the abacus? So here the teacher is showing an abacus on her whiteboard. Now, all of you are familiar with abacus, so you can know the number what is she showing. Now, tell me what would be the Roman numeral for that number. Yes, here the number represented on the abacus is, we have 5 beats on hundreds. It's 500 and 2 in tens place. So 2 and 3 in ones place. So 3. The number represented on the abacus is 522. Now what would be the Roman numeral for this 522? We can split this number as 500 plus 20 plus 3. So for 500 we have D, for 20 we have XX, and for 3 we have I. So the answer for your question is, the number is 523, and 523 split as 500 plus 20 plus 3. As I've explained you, the symbols for 500 is D, 20 is XX, 3 is I. So the final Roman numeral for this is DXXIII. This is the answer for your question. It's good to see that you are answering on the chat box. Many are giving correct answers. Happy to know that you all are understanding the concepts. Next, let's move on to our third rule. Rule 3. The symbol of a smaller value put on the left of the greater symbol is subtracted from it. In the rule 2, we have learned that when the smaller symbol is put to the right side, its value is added. In rule 3, when the smaller symbol is put to the left side, its value is subtracted. Look at your example. Here we have a number XL. Here if you observe, we know that X stands for 10, L stands for 50. Here X is to the left of L. So its value is subtracted from 50. Let's see what happens on subtracting. So XL stands for 50 minus 10, that is 40. So whenever a smaller symbol is to the right side, we need to add the values. And whenever the smaller symbol is to the left side, we need to subtract the values. So rule 3 is an opposite of rule 2. Let's see some more examples in there. CM. Here again, C stands for 100, M stands for 1000. Here again, the smaller symbol is to the left of the bigger symbol. So on subtracting the values, CM stands for 900. Similarly, let's see what would be the Roman numeral for 9. For 9, what is the nearest Roman numeral for 9? We have 10. And how can we get 9 out of 10? By subtracting 1. So when 1 is subtracted from 10, this subtraction form says that the smaller symbol should be to the left side of the greater symbol. So IX. Similarly, we have 400. For 400, how can we write it? 500 minus 1, which is CD. So whenever we do subtraction, we need to write the smaller symbol to the left of the bigger. So these are the three rules. First rule is when the symbol is repeated, their value needs to be added. Second rule, when the smaller symbol is to the right side, the bigger symbol value is added to it. Third rule, when the smaller symbol is to the left side, it is added to the value of the greater symbol. But this third rule has many conditions. It's not like rule 2. Let's see what are those. It has some exceptions. What is that? VLG can never be subtracted. This is the first condition for applying third rule. In the sense, here in the case of subtraction, there should never be VL or D that should be subtracted from the rest. I can be subtracted only from V and X. X can be subtracted from L and C. C can be subtracted from G and M. If you remember the sequence of the letters that I have told you, we have the sequence as I, V, X, L, C, G and M. If you observe properly, I is subtracted only from its next two symbols, that is V and X. Similarly, X can be subtracted only from its next two symbols, L and C. And C can be subtracted from its next two symbols, that is G and M. Apart from these three conditions, V, L and D, which can never be repeated, the same way they can never be subtracted. This V, L and D have special symbols. They have many exceptions, like they cannot be repeated and they cannot be subtracted from the rest. Now, if you're clear with this third rule, here is Smith. He's attending a quiz on Roman numerals. Can you help me in finding which is the meaningful option? Okay. Many correct answers. Very nice. Now let's see what would be the answer. Here the correct answer is option C. It is CM. Why is it CM? And why are not the rest? IC is the first option. In IC, as I have told you, I should be subtracted only from B and X. So this is meaningless. Next, XD. We know that X should be subtracted only from L and C. So this is again meaningless. C can be subtracted from D and M. So this makes a sense. And coming to last option, LC. We know that L can never be subtracted. So this is again an invalid option. So A, B and G are invalid, as we have just understood that C is the correct option since C can be subtracted from M. Now can anyone tell what would be the value of CM? Very good. The value of CM is 900. Since C is 100, M is 1000. If you subtract, we get the answer as 900. So here we have a question from our IMO workbook. So the main motto of our session is to get you prepared for IMO exam. So we have some questions from our IMO workbook which can help you develop your thinking skills on the topic. So here's a question. Let's read the question and let me see who can give the answer. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Symbols V, L, D can never be subtracted while writing Roman. Option B. Symbol I can be subtracted from V and X. Symbol X can be subtracted from L. None of this. Now, which of these is incorrect? Let's see. Symbol X cannot be subtracted from L. Why can't it be subtracted? We know that X can be subtracted from L and C. So this is only the incorrect option. And the rest three are, the rest A and B are correct options. We know that V, L and D can never be subtracted. It's fine. And I can be subtracted from V and X. Only once. Subtraction in the sense only once. So these are correct options. So C is the incorrect option. I'm very happy to see many of you answering the questions. Now coming to our last rule, that is rule 4. The rule 4 is the symbol of a smaller symbol put between the two greater symbols, two symbols of greater value is subtracted from the symbol on its right side. In the sense, when we have two bigger symbols with a smaller symbol in between, we may get a doubt. What are we supposed to do? Should we subtract this value of this? What should we add or subtract this I value from X or B? So in such cases, what it happens is, whenever we have a smaller symbol in between two bigger symbols, this middle symbol should always be subtracted from the symbol on the right side only, not the left side. The left side one symbol's value will be added and the middle one's value will be subtracted from the right side one. Let's see what is it. Here, the leftmost symbol value is 10. So that retains as it is and that is added to IV. IV is nothing but 5 minus 4. So the middle smaller symbol is subtracted from the value of the symbol on the right side. So here V is 5. From that we subtract the value of I, which is 1, and we get the answer as 14. So in this way, whenever we have a smaller symbol in between, it should be subtracted from the right side symbol. 5. Here we have LIX. Let's see what is it. L stands for 50. Again, I value should be subtracted from X. So 10 minus 1, which is 59. Similarly, XLIX. Here if you see XL, here X is before the bigger symbol. So it should be subtracted 50 minus 10. And the I which is between L and X, again I is subtracted from X. So 10 minus 1. So our answer is 49. So we just have 4 rules in writing all the Roman numerals. One, when the bigger symbol is, when the smaller symbol is to the right side, we add the values. When the smaller symbol is to the left side, we subtract the values. When the smaller symbol is in between the two bigger symbols, we subtract it from the right side symbol. And the last one is whenever the letter or the symbol is repeated, not more than thrice, we add the values. These are just 4 rules which helps us in writing different Roman numerals. Here we have an IMO question again. Which of the following is meaningless? XV, XIX, IXIV, XXIV. Let me see who can answer this. Good. Very nice answers. But I find some getting confused. Let me give the answer to them. Correct option is C. IXIV. Why is this meaningless? Let's see. XV is nothing but 10 plus 5, 15. XIX is nothing but 10 plus IX is 10 minus 1, which is 19. Oh, sorry. IXIV. IXIV is nothing but, XXIV. XXIV is nothing but XX stands for 20. IV is nothing but 5 minus 1, which is 4, which is 20 plus 4, 24. But when I come to this IXIV, this is the incorrect answer. Why is this IXIV incorrect? Let me see. This IXIV, if you see, IX is nothing but 9. And IV, if you see, it is 4. So 9 plus 4 is 13. But why are we supposed to write 13 as 9 plus 4? We can write it as XIII, which is 10 plus 3, which is 30. This is the valid symbol for 30. When we have this simpler form of a symbol, why are we supposed to write IXIV? So this is the meaningless here. And the rest are correct options. Only one, option C, is the incorrect answer. Now let's see some more examples of forming Roman numerals or Hindu Arabic numbers to Roman numerals using the 4 rules which we have learned so far. Let's convert 456. Before converting any bigger number to Roman numeral, you need to remember a small condition. What is that? Whenever we are splitting any number, if you want to convert any bigger number which is more than 10, which which is more than 10, if you want to convert it into a Roman numeral, we can split it into thousands, hundreds, tens, ones, etc. Right? We can expand it. We can represent it in its expanded form. Then we can convert it into Roman numeral. So let's see what is it. Here, see, 456 I have represented in its expanded form. That is what I have said. You can split the number into hundreds, tens, and ones. So when you split it, you get 400 plus 50 plus 6. And for 400, the nearest symbol is 500. So I represent it as 500 minus 100. 50 stands as it is. And 6, 5 plus 1. Now the symbol for this is 500 minus 100. So the smaller number symbol should go to the left side. So CD, L for 50, VX, VI is for 6. So CDLVI is for 456. Next we have a Roman numeral LXXIV. Here, let's convert this Roman numeral into a Hindu-Arabic numeral. L is for 50, XS is for 10, 10. So we add 50 plus 10 plus 10. And IX is nothing but 10 minus 1. So the answer is 79. So using these 4 rules, we can convert any Hindu numeral to this Roman numeral form and Roman numerals to Hindu-Arabic numbers. Here is a question. Oh, here's Pep. Say hi to Pep. So Pep is working on his computer. Oh, he forgot his password. Let's help him in finding the password. The password is the least among the following. Among these 4 numerals, which is the smallest? That is his password. Which is the smallest? Please give your answers in the chat box. Very good answers. And very happy to know that you all are very good children, that you kept yourselves muted so far. Very nice to see all of you being well disciplined in the class. And it's wonderful to know that you all are giving your active participation in answering. Good competitive spirit. And here is answer. So, XMV. There is no explanation for XMV. Why is it there is no explanation? If you see here, DCCX, that is the second option, is being explained as 500 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 10, which is 18. But why is XMV is not explained? Yes, very good. Some are giving answers in the chat box. XMV is an invalid Roman numeral. It is a meaningless Roman numeral because X cannot be subtracted from M. So this is a meaningless. Now coming to our option 2, the value of it is 810, and option C, CDLXXX. Here if you see, the value of this is 500 minus 100 plus 50 plus 3 tens, which is 480. And the last, CMXX, so CMLXX. Here its value is 1000 minus 500 plus 50 plus 10 plus 10, which is 570. So which is the smallest among it? Option C. Now let's move on to our next workbook question. Here there are 2 Roman numerals. We are supposed to compare them. Let me see who gives the first answer. Very good answers. Very nice. Now let me reveal the answer for this. So the correct answer is option B. Let's see why is it. DCCLXV is stands for 500 plus 200 plus 50 plus 10 plus 5, which is 765. D is for 500, CC is 200, L is 50, X is 10, V is 5. Similarly, the second option, CDLXXII. Here if you see, CD is 500 minus 100, L is 50, XX is 20, and II is 2. So its answer is 472. Now, if you observe properly, Here the answer which is greater is on the left side. So B is the correct option. Here we have one more question from our workbook. Which of the following is greatest? Keep answering with the same spirit. The more you answer, the more you get interested in learning the concepts, because you are getting competitive. You feel like answering correct and first than the others. This is the competitive spirit. Okay, the correct option is answer C. Why is it greatest? Let's check. First option, DXLVII. Here if you see, D is for 500, X50, XL. If you subtract 50, 10 from 50, 50 minus 10, B is for 5, II is for 2. So its answer is 547. Similarly, CDLII, here if you observe, the answer is 500 minus 100 plus 50 plus 2, 452. CMXI, here it is again 5000 minus 100 plus XC is 100 minus 10, which is 990. And the last option is CMLXVI. So again, CM is 1000 minus 100, L is 50, X is 10, VI is 6. So 966. Which is the greatest of all this? 999. The answer is CMXC. Here's again a question on workbook. So we have many interesting questions in your IMO workbook, which helps you to understand the topic differently and also develop your analytical skills. As I've told you, what are the benefits that you are going to get by being a part of IMO sessions and taking up your IMO exams. So here we have one more question. Oh, I've already seen people started answering. Very good. Very nice. So the correct answer is C. Why is it C? Let's see. So in the first option, LIV is 54, XCIX is 99. So obviously the left number LIV is smaller than XCIX. Now moving to second option, XLIV is 44, XLVI is 46. So again, the left part number is smaller than the right side number. In the last option, CCV is 200, XCV is 95. So 205 is greater than 95. So here the option which is matching you is option C, 2 lesser than and 1 greater. So this is your session on Roman numerals. Hope you all have understood well. So it was nice being a part with such active children who are being very competitive and very active in taking part in answering the questions in the session. You have a small assessment. We have a small assessment of the class which is being done now. So the link is shared on your chat box. Click out the link and take out your assignment of what you have learned in today's session. The assignment is with some 5 questions on the topic Roman numerals only. So answer it. Then I'll give you 10 minutes for answering these questions. After answering, click on the submit button. Your answers will reach me and you can see your scores. Once you all are done with your assignment, we'll discuss the answers for the assignment. Okay. Hope you all have done your assignment well. So there are very good scorings by many of you. I'm able to see your scorings in the chat box. But for those who couldn't answer all correct, who are finding 1 or 2 questions confusing, let's see the answers for the questions which you have attempted in your assignment. So these are the 5 questions which were being a part of your assignment. Let's discuss them once. The first question was the Roman numeral for 395. So which of these is the correct answer for the Roman numeral 395? Option D, C, 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 X, C, V. The reason for this is we can split 395 as 300 plus 90 plus 5. The symbol for 300 is CCC. For 90, it is XC. So 90, we get it as 100 minus 10, so XC. And for 5, it is V. So the Roman numeral for 395 is CCC XCV. Now, second question. The Roman numeral for the greatest two-digit number. What is the greatest two-digit number? 99. So for 99, we can't write it as 100 minus 1 to form a Roman numeral. Why can't we write it as 100 minus 1? If you write it as 100 minus 1, it becomes IC. But we know that I should be subtracted only from B and X. So this is wrong. We can write it as 90 plus 9. For the symbol for 90 is, as we have seen in the before case, symbol for 90 is XC and the symbol for 9 is IX. So XCIX is the symbol for the greatest two-digit number, which is 99. Now let's move on. Which is the greatest among the following? MC. M is for 1000, C is for 100. So the value of this is 1100. In the same way, CD. D is 500 and C is to its left. That is 100 should be subtracted. So the value of this is 400. In the same way, MX. M is 1000, X is 10. So the value of this is 1010. In the same way, DL. D is 500, L is 50. The value of this is 550. So, which is the greatest among all this? MC, which is 1100. Now, moving on to the fourth question of the assignment, which is, which of the following is the correct option? Here we have XCVI. XCVI is 104. XC is 90 and VI is 6. So this is 96, but it's given as 104, which is incorrect. Now DLX, D is 500, L is 50, X is 10. So 500 plus 50 plus 10 is 560. So again, this is incorrect. Now third option, DCL. D is 500, C is 100, L is 50. So which is 650. So it's the correct option. Now D, CLIX. C is 100, L is 50. So 150, IX is 9. So this should be 159, but it's given as 149, which is again incorrect. So C is the correct option and the rest three are incorrect. And coming on to the last question of the assignment, CDLI. C is 100, D is 500. So since C is to the left side, it's 400 now, and LI is 51. So the value of this is CDLI is 451, and the number DCXI is 500 plus 100 plus 10 plus 1, which is 611. So which is the symbol best fit between 451 and 611? Obviously, option B, which is the lesser than symbol. So these are the 5 questions which you have got in your assignment. Hope you have understood the answers for who couldn't answer any of these questions. Now, if anyone is having any query, we can discuss it. But before unmuting yourself, please type your question in the chat box so that I will answer your query. Okay. Those who have any queries on your today's session, you can type your answers in the chat box, the questions in the chat box. I will be answering you, or you have a raise your hand option. I think you all can see on your screen. So you can press the raise your hand option so that I'll unmute yourself and you can ask your query. You have 2 options. One is typing your question in the chat box or clicking on to the raise hand option so that you'll be unmuted and you will be given a chance to ask your query.
So I hope students you have enjoyed the session. In next session we will connect soon. Hope till then stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.